I'm backing back 3 times now. When I do that, you know, back, back. I'm telling you, you know what?
Yeah. How y'all feeling? How y'all living, family, man? It's your brother, man, T-Bruh, D-Bruh, the black racist atheist humanist, man. Back at y'all with another video, bro. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back at it. You know, took a few days off, man, to just catch more news, get an update before I started yapping again. And here we are. We got an update about the tragic situation involving Memphis pastor Ricky Floyd, right? I did a couple videos on it, couple shorts, and man, and I already knew that it wasn't an affair gone fatal type situation. That was already, you did what I'm saying, clear it up. But man, I ain't gonna lie. I might have to apologize to Miss Marion. I might have to apologize to Miss Marion. You did what I'm saying? Because as you see in that video that just played, that's a clip that was released from that Samantha, Miss Marion's lawyers put out there from her phone, I believe, that shows Pastor Ricky Floyd getting down on her. You know, walking at her, assaulting her, and everything like that. As you see, in a clearly menacing stance. Now, according to them, this was just mere seconds before she started shooting. According to them, so it's, to me, it's still, you know, some shit that needs to be explained that we ain't seen yet. And according to the witnesses there, you know, it all started, they say, from a religious dispute. I would love to know what their religious dispute was about. Because I have a strong feeling that it wasn't a religious dispute as far as them talking about doctrine and theology. And as far as them, they say Samantha Marion was with one of her guy friends. When it first broke, they say she was like with 2 women. Now they're saying she was with a guy. And she could have been with a group of people. You know, a lot of people, you know, they mob out when they go to places like this. But they say it was some kind of religious dispute that just got very heated. Now, I'm thinking, to be honest with y'all, I'm thinking the religious dispute had probably more so to do with they may have been questioning Pastor Floyd of why he was in the club at that time of morning or night. I know some people still consider 1 a.m. They consider that still night. But what you doing at the club this late? You know what I'm saying, Pastor? And it may have been a religious conversation sparked around that. Or he may have been trying to preach to him, because shout out, you know, although I'm an atheist, I do fuck with these 2 Christian content creators, black Christian content creators. Shout out to Global Impact. Shout out to Smart Christians. You did what I'm saying? The Global Impact channel, the Smart Christians channel. You know, of course, with my stance, a lot of shit I don't agree with them on, but them brothers make good content. So if you can, you know, if you can stomach Christian content and you can be objective, you know, tap in with them bros. But Smart Christians shared a video where Pastor Floyd was talking about how God convicted him to go to a club where one of his young church members was killed in the parking lot like a week before. Not before this incident. I'm talking about the time he made that video. And he was talking about how he was witnessing and praying with the people, the guys in the club and things like that. So, and if you follow Global Impact channel and you see the whole demeanor of Ricky Floyd, he seemed like a guy, just how he preached and how he, you know what I'm saying, carried himself in his preaching, in his sermons. And of course, he was an associate of the controversial Pastor Thaddeus Matthews. He seemed like one of these guys, and I come across a lot of them in my life, one of these pastors who had like a street vibe to him, who felt comfortable being around the hood fellas. He was comfortable being in the trenches. You know, and that could be a good thing, but in this situation, the situation with Samantha Marion and her party, it was a bad thing. They say this shit got heated. Y'all can go to, I think, WREG, that's the Memphis News. They got a 5-minute video on this situation breaking it down. They say, I think the guy who was with Samantha Marion, he knocked him down to the ground. You did what I'm saying, when he got in the way between him and Samantha Marion. So I don't know what this lady did or said to get this man hot. I definitely believe her recording, putting out her phone to record, definitely, pissed him off. But if you seen how he was walking toward her, bruh, he definitely was menacing. He wasn't walking toward her to give her a church hug. He wasn't walking to her to flirt with her. That man was walking, as you see, he snatched the phone and threw it down. So Samantha Marion, she might get off with this. She might get, if anything, she ain't gonna get a gang of time. Now I still believe that she should have walked away. It would have saved her some trouble. She would have done better just walking away, getting her car, calling the police. Hell, she had the video footage. She could have, that would have hurt his reputation right there. That would have exposed him right there. But when you know what I'm saying, but certain lines you don't cross. It's a certain point you cross with a person when you've basically assaulted them. You assaulted one of their friends, and you obviously got anger and rage in your eyes. Hey man, that's enough cause, and that's enough cause for a motherfucker to put you down. You kept fucking with that lady. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing, man. When y'all out in the community, whether you're a pastor or you're a community activist, and you out here in the trenches with these people, and I know sometimes you got to play tough, or you might be naturally tough to get their respect. You got to be careful with that, man, because you'll take on that energy. You'll take on that mentality where you want to be an aggressive, tough person, and you might get into it with someone over something simple. I mean, there was no reason for him to whether it was them being irritated with him preaching, or whether it was them questioning him being at the club, or being at a, hole in the wall, bar, whatever you want to call it, at 1 o'clock in the morning. Him being who he is and having the reputation and the prestige that he had, man, he should have just walked off. He let his ego get him nipped. He should have just walked off. You did what I'm saying? But Global Impact has a couple sermons on his channel where Global Impact has a couple sermons on his channel where one video he made his bishop move from the front row, blasted the man in front of everybody doing service because the bishop wasn't, following the commands. If you grow up in a black church, you'll hear a neighbor, the pastor say, look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, your breakthrough is coming. Neighbor, don't you give up. Neighbor, God is in control. You do that, that little stuff, man, growing up in the church. And I guess the bishop wasn't participating. Man, he scorched his bishop ass. Made that fucker move to the second row. Did it in front of everybody. So that lets me know that he was an aggressive, abrasive type of guy. And when challenged, you know what I'm saying, he's a pretty big dude. So when challenged, he'll send some shit up. However, he forgot that he's in Memphis. And you can get got anywhere, but with the reputation Memphis has, everybody packing, everybody ready to take shit to the next level. Certain places, man, you can't take no chance with trying to punk somebody or intimidate somebody. Male, female, child, elder, motherfucker nail your ass. And that's unfortunately what happened with Pastor Ricky Floyd. But rest in peace, my condolences to his family. I hope Samantha Marion, you know what I'm saying, if it's true, I hope it works out best in her favor. I don't have any hate toward that sister. I still say, sisters, you know what I'm saying, avoid getting into arguments with men. Men avoid getting in arguments with women. Hell, everybody just try to avoid getting into the arguments with anybody. Because you never know, how the situation may either change your life or end your life. So with that being said, man, y'all like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep this thing going. You dig? One.